Do you want to get to a rank you're proud of and can show off to all your friends? Well, that's pretty much diamond rank, and when you do get to diamond, you can tell them all about how good you are and have them completely look up to your superior shiny rank. If you're looking to achieve that, well, you've come to the right place. Greetings fellow gamers, my name is Trey and today we're going to be talking about climbing the ranks quickly to get to diamond. Ranked has been out for about a week now, and after playing it, we came up with the best tips we could think of to help you climb the ladder as fast as you can. Now, let's dash straight into it like an ally jet into enemy bullets. First off though, as always, we have our question of the day: do you have ranked anxiety? Are you afraid of queuing up for rank because you don't think you're good enough? Or do you think it's a fun challenge for you to try and compete to be the best? For me, I personally love competition and love learning games inside and out. I almost always try to practice to get to a solid level in terms of game mechanics and then start grinding in the competitive mode. If I lose, I always think of it as a fantastic opportunity to improve and learn, greatly inspired by the late Kobe Bryant. RIP. I know not everybody's mentality is like that, so let me know in the comment sections your thought on ranked and how will you all handle it. Love seeing the grind by you guys, keep it up and do your best. And into the video we go. Our first tip for you guys is to learn how to be more aggressive. I know for a lot of newer Valorant players that they have trouble with this, but you have to learn how to move forward and lead your team from the front. Trying to make plays happen instead of waiting around for your team gives you the best odds of winning. If you're playing a duelist, which I know most of you are, don't lie to me, press W and try to take the first contact. Be brave and be confident that you'll land an entry for your team, and even though you might not get the kill, have faith that your teammate will trade you out. If you find yourself losing a lot of 1v1 duels or you're taking too long to kill someone standing in the open, well, that's a big problem. If you want to climb, you have to put in work into your aim, and there's no getting around that. If you're having trouble improving your aim, come check out our How to Aim Like the Pros video if you're interested in aiming drills for you to practice so you can get more consistent in getting kills. By following these drills, you'll see a big improvement on a day-by-day basis and be much more comfortable with your mouse. For our next tip, if you find that your teammates aren't trading you out or missing a little too much, feel free to buddy up with them and have them take the first contact. While this is kind of baiting, it's overall more beneficial if you know that you're just the better aimer. Just be sure to swing out when you do hear first shots instead of waiting for them to die. Teammates get extremely furious if you let them die in a situation where you could have peeked and helped them. Also, to add on to that, normally when enemies see two targets in their view, they tend to panic and miss a lot more often, so it helps a lot to be peeking out with your teammates. Make sure you're shoulder to shoulder with somebody pushing into the bomb site and encourage them to push up nicely with a smiley face. Just remember that if you're butting up, then sometimes there are areas that enemies can push up and flank you from. Sometimes you don't have enough manpower to both buddy up and watch everything. This brings us to another important point, which is watching the flank. I see a lot of lower tier players that don't understand this concept and they get heavily punished by it. Wherever there is an area teammates aren't watching, it means that area can be pushed out by the enemy team. So occasionally you want to glance over in that area and clear it out. Enemies pushing on the defending side is a huge risk and reward for both teams, but people want to win the round for their team. If they get into a good position, they might wipe out your entire team. But if you manage to kill the flanking rat, it provides a pretty big window of opportunity for your team to hit a bomb site with man advantage. I want to tell all of you rank climbers to constantly be glancing at your minimap. Whatever area you see your teammates are not watching, peek over there occasionally to make sure you guys aren't getting flanked. It's a horrible feeling to get shot at from behind, and even worse to see your whole team die to one person. In order to achieve a higher rank, I'm telling you to watch the flank. Next up is knowing your abilities. What is the purpose of your abilities? Are you designed to entry into area like Phoenix, Reyna, or Jet? Or maybe your controller designed to cut off lines of sight? Or are you perhaps an intel gatherer like Silver or Cypher? Well, whatever you are, make sure you know your strengths and weaknesses. Smokes are great for executing onto the site, but if you only use it for that, then it's totally choreographed and the enemies can quickly rotate. You can also use smokes to take control of certain parts of the map, such as if you're working on a map like Split A, you can choose to smoke A main and send some guys up to take Heaven control. Heaven is an essential area on the A site, so having control over it is amazing as it provides high ground and cuts off rotations. One simple smoke can have that much impact over the game. Make sure you know what areas are good to smoke for different occasions. I'd recommend going over pro VODs or watch tournaments to learn what areas are the best to smoke. For flashes, mostly they are used for entry. Reyna and Phoenix mainly can flash themselves in, while Breach is used to flash for teammates. If you are going into a hotly contested zone, like for example Haven Garage, you'll most likely want to have flashes to give your team the best chances of taking that area. Without flashes, it's pretty hard to entry in as you'll have to run straight into the opponent's crosshair, and that's almost never a good option. As for Sova and Cypher, they have great tools to scout with Recon Bolt and Spy Cam respectively. Both can be used to find where enemies are located so you won't have to clear every angle when attacking. On the defensive side, they're great for finding out which bomb site the enemy is hitting. So if you're planning to main a certain agent, make sure you know their abilities in and out, so you'll get the maximum amount of value out of them. And moving on to another ability, albeit a more powerful one, the ultimate. Ultimates are huge game changers in the way they impact the game. Knowing how to keep building and setting up yourself to use it is huge. An underrated tip I have for you guys is to start fighting for as many ultimate orbs if you can. My favorite example is at Haven A-Long, where if I'm a controller, I can smoke it out and get the ultimate orb almost every round. If I'm kinda expecting people to jump out, I normally give the orb a tap or two to bait people to jump through the smoke, but for the most part this gives me so many more ultimate stacks. Of course there are times where it's a little too dangerous to go for the orb, so I concede it, but if they're not pressuring my side of the map, I always take the orb. Whatever side you're playing on, I really want you to start fighting more for ultimate orbs. Another big problem I see in lower elos is that people don't know when to use their ultimates. When you're maining someone, know what situations your ultimate is useful for and how to set yourself up to use it. I'll give you a few examples. For Jett, her ultimate is great on eco rounds where your team can't fully buy. It's a powerful one-hit headshot, and accuracy in the air is a great tool to pick off people in rounds you're not expected to win. As for Ray's ultimate, this thing is great for both eco and gun rounds alike, as you can normally pop it and get a few kills paired with your satchel jumps. Phoenix ultimate is a great tool for being able to run in blindly and get information alongside with some kills on the way. Great tool for entry fragging. Brim ultimate has a huge radius and wipes out anything in a narrow space. So if there's an enemy playing in a cramped location like behind U-Haul, let the orbital strike rip. These are just a few examples, but if you really want to learn more about what situations to use your ultimate in, be sure to check out ProGuides.com and find a coach that can help you. Now, another fantastic tip I have for you guys is to play aggressively on defense. We recently released a video about this in our How to Solo Carry Games with Aggression video. Go check it out if you haven't already. But remember what I said about playing proactively? Well, the same thing applies on the defensive end. Now, I don't want you to just run in and get yourself killed every time. No! I want you to play with smart aggression. That means using techniques to get info, such as jump spotting, jiggle peeking, or even simply listening to footsteps. If you're playing Silver or Cypher, their abilities help out a lot, as you'll be able to scout out enemies to be certain where they are. After you get that much needed info, start creeping up. I want you to be walk pushing if you don't feel like anybody is around after like 5 seconds or so. Always try to push and control as much areas as you can possible. If you're far pushed up, remember there can always be a lurker sitting around an unknown location. Always have good crosshair placement and check your corners when in enemy lines. If you're really pushed up and you get information they're fully pushing on another site, then it's your time to shine, as once you get behind them, it's your turn for the montage play. Just make sure you don't choke and whiff on the first guy and die to the others. That's something I've never done before. Yeah, absolutely. If you feel like you're getting too predictable and somebody's always waiting for you around the corner, it's good to switch it up. If they see you flanking the round before, it's most likely they're going to be on the lookout for it. Mix in standard defensive play with smart aggression. Be unpredictable in what you do. Keep that in mind fully. And our last tip is going to be thinking about the enemy position. Always keep a mental tab where enemies might be located. If you're on offense, make sure you understand where enemies are defaulting and how to adjust based on the information you see. A common example I frequently notice would be like on Bind, where you see the enemy team likes playing 3A. If you know their default and then you hear 2 people take the TP, then it's a pretty big chance that they will only have one on A. So where do you go? Obviously to A, duh. You want the best chance of taking a site, and with only one person you want to abuse the fact that he can't watch everything by himself. He will also get swarmed and traded out if you all go together. It's thinking like this that will help you climb to the top. Be sure to constantly be thinking about defender rotations and where they're going based on what happens in the game. The faster you're able to process this information, the more window of opportunities are going to show and the more rounds you're going to win. And that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys are having a lot of fun playing competitively. I know ranked is stressful sometimes and you might not get the best teammates, but take it easy, as everybody is trying to improve at this new game. Focus on making the right play yourself and worry not about how your team is doing. If you can get first blood every few rounds, that'll be enough to win your team the game. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all in the future videos and keep up the grind. Again, it's Stray and I'm signing out. Peace out, folks.